Good morning, students. How are you today? Hope you sound well. Are you ready to rock? Ready to roll! All right, good. So, today we're going to read about an insect. You might think insects are gross, but we're going to talk about a really cool, interesting insect. Now, all the poems that we're going to be reading this week, and the purpose or the reason, we talked about WH words. Why are we reading poems? Well, the poems we're reading about this week is for entertainment, okay? We are getting little bits of information from it that some of us may not know. So there's three reasons an author writes: for information, that we learn something. A book about soccer talks about how to play and what are the rules. That's for information. Don't litter. Well, that's a book about persuading somebody not to do something. They don't want you throwing garbage on the floor, and after you read it, you're really not going to want to throw anything not in the garbage pail. You're going to want to use garbage pails every day, all the time. And then the other reason is just for fun. The Tom and Jerry, the Woody Woodpecker, this stuff, Paw Patrol. You know, there might be some learning that goes on, but it's entertaining. It's fun. Scooby-Doo is a mystery. It's entertaining. I'm not gonna learn about insects watching Scooby-Doo. The Magic School Bus is for information and it's entertaining. So that has two different things. Most of the time, an author just wants one. So the books we're reading about this week is all about to entertain us while giving us ideas and pictures that describe how cool animals are. Okay? We're talking about geese, we're talking about turtles, we're talking about a beetle. Okay? And it's a lot of these are really cute about these animals. And one of the things that we're really focusing on this week is when we don't know something, we ask a question. We want to learn something, we ask a question. So for example, today's story is called Beetles. It's not a story, I shouldn't say story. Today's poem is about beetles. And one of the things we're learning is that we ask and answer questions. WH questions. If we answer WH questions, we have important information. We don't call it important information, we call it a key detail. The key unlocks the door to the understanding of the story. So, we ask in such questions like who, what, where, when, how, why. And when we do that and we seek the answer, what we're doing is we're demonstrating that we're understanding what the poem is about. And there's a lot of describing words in this poetry. So the author wants to let you know how he feels, how much love he has for those darn shiny beetles. And like the ladybug, I feel like is in the beetle family. And the ladybug is really, really cute. And some interesting things about a ladybug. I know if you count the red dots on the ladybug's back, it can tell you how many years old the ladybug is. That's what I was told. Kind of interesting. So the first poem we're going to be starting with this week is not very big. And like I said, they don't have to be big, long poems to be important, to be fun, to be entertaining. But the reason we're reading these is to have fun. Okay, so it's reading for enjoyment, all right? Reading what you want to read about. Well, animals are really fun for kids, so this is a great idea that the ELA book took it in this direction. Beetles by Monica Shannon. When it says that by Monica Shannon underneath a poem, it means that that's the author of the poem. The author is the person that wrote the poem. And the title of this poem, or the name we say, is Beetles. All right, let's get to it. And before I start reading this, I want you to think, what do you love about beetles? You might not have anything on the tip of your tongue right now, but there is something that you love about them. Cool that they fly away. All right, well, let's watch. And I do also have two beetle videos that are very short, just gives you a look at a couple of really bright colored beetles. Some interesting ideas about them, okay? Beetles must use polish. Well, no one paints the beetles' body covering, their wings, but they look so shiny and bright that they look like someone actually painted them with like a highlighted paint. I'm starting to think that this story might have come from a young student. Beetles must use polish. They look so new and shiny. Just like a freshly painted car, except for being tiny. Okay, so we have shiny and tiny. These are the rhyming words. So this is a rhyming poem, one of my favorites. So they look so new and shiny. And these beetles are so very small. Now, I don't think beetles bite. I've never gotten bit by a beetle, I don't think. I know there are some beetles that are not really good. I know that they eat trees and they can be a problem. So, and that's what happens when you take a beetles from one place and you move it to a different country where it's like hotter or colder and it doesn't do good things because it's not used to that, and it could wipe out a lot of trees and just eat all the trees. So there are beetles that aren't very good, but this is talking about the ladybugs of the world. It's talking about those super shiny, there's a beetle from Ecuador that's purple and just looks like wrapping paper. I'm gonna put a video in of that beetle. And also there's another green beetle. Not sure exactly where it comes from, but it's like this shiny green beetle like you've never seen before. So, but what do we love about these animals? Well, if you see a ladybug, and it's walking on the tip of your finger, what do you think? How do you feel? Do you ever feel like bothered, or do you ever feel angry about that? Be like, why are you here? No, you're like, oh, ladybug, hi, it's really cool, and you're like, they're walking around really nicely. And I know the regular beetles that we see in the summertime, the Japanese beetles, all the different kinds of beetles. Some of them are very big, kind of spooky looking. I don't want to be near them with my bare feet if I'm walking around the backyard. But these beetles that we're thinking about in this poem, or at least I'm thinking about, because everyone could think something a little different, is like the ladybugs and how cool they are. And I always think of, oh, you know what? I really would like this ladybug to get back to his family. And I walk to a window or a door and I just go, okay, time to go now. That's it. Signuch. All right, well, I had fun reading about beetles. I have a couple activities. I'm going to ask you for some of your input in what you think about the rhyming poem. And I hope you enjoy it. And check out that beetle from Ecuador. The videos are not very long. They're only about a minute or two. But I hope that you get a chance to look at some of them and check them out. I enjoy them. I hope you do too. And next time you see a beetle, don't go, ah, beetle! Just go, hey, that's a beetle. I learned about that in ELA. This guy, Mr. Ehrlinger, a nice guy. All right. Guys, that's enough of me. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Great job today.